I want to share a warning before I start this video, but before I get to it, I think it's important to share the numbers behind the title of this video. My warning is that I do not and have never believed in get rich quick, and this is not a video about making millions overnight. That's just not realistic. This video is about the consistent manifestation activities and strategies that I have used and the aligned actions that I've taken over the last decade to truthfully get me through all of the inevitable ups and downs of entrepreneurship. And yes, I 100% acknowledge that I have innately a lot of things working in my favor that have allowed me to create the success that I have today. But I will also say that I have spoken to so many people from so many different backgrounds and walks of life who have used the law of attraction and manifestation to create a better reality for themselves. And that's why I am such a huge proponent of it. And I have seen it make a massive difference in my own life and my own mindset. So that's why I'm making this video today, because I know that success has to start in your head. By the end of this video, you will have 5 key exercises to attract wealth and to build a business that stands the test of time. If you get value from this, please do subscribe. The mission of this channel is to make entrepreneurship available to everyone, because I believe that entrepreneurship is a vehicle to freedom, and that affords you the ability to make your unique impact on the world. So a small thing you can do to help me achieve this mission with this channel is hitting that like button so more people can see this in the algorithm. Plus, this is really, really exciting. I've been waiting years to announce this and actually do this, but I've created something extra special just for you to help you manifest wealth in your life. And I'm gonna be announcing it later in the video, so stay tuned for that. To make this super simple, here's what we're gonna cover. Number 1, mirror exercise. Number 2, reprogramming your subconscious. Number 3 is the evolving vision board. Number 4 is the 90-day letter. And number 5 is data-driven law of attraction. Let's get started. Number 1, the mirror exercise. Simplistically put, the law of attraction is simply your thoughts create your experience. So if you're negative and pessimistic, you're going to attract more of that. That's why this exercise is the best place to start. And ironically, I actually did this in my personal life to attract my now husband, and I also apply it professionally. And there is a twist, and I'm gonna get into that in a second. The mirror exercise really is just writing down a list of all of the things that you want to attract in your ideal business. And I don't want you to just think about money. I want you to think about, on a day-to-day basis, what does your business look like? What are the activities that you're doing? How do you want to feel? Really important that you get into detail of what it looks like for you. And I'm gonna get into the twist, but before I do, I wanna share how this crumbled on me and how I discovered the power of this exercise. So I've shared this story before on my channel, but back in 2017, I ended up in the hospital with a massive burnout. I was trying to grow my business. I was doing way too much. I had this mentality that the busier I was, the more worthy of success I was, and I ended up in a really unhealthy place. So when I look back and I reverse engineer my own journey, I can identify that at that time, I was making a fraction of the revenue that I now make in my business, but I was working about 100 times harder. And I was constantly stressed out, and I was constantly on the treadmill trying to find my next client, trying to find my next thing to do, just constantly busy. So I wasn't operating in alignment with what I wanted to attract. That's why it's so important to write down the kind of business that you want to create and attract for yourself, and not just what you want, but matching it with the feeling that you want to have on a daily basis running that business. So for me, I had to get clear on the feeling. I wanted to feel clear, creative, empowered, peaceful, and most importantly, consistent. So I had to subtract and drop all of the things that were making my life harder than it needed to be when it came to my business. I didn't want to do launches anymore. I didn't want to have to be in this hustle cycle. I didn't want to be working all the time. I wanted to have a life outside of my business. So I had to cut aspects of my business. I had to remove people who were working for me. I had to remove entire wings of my business at the time. It wasn't easy, but the moment that I aligned how I was operating on a daily basis with what I wanted to create and the kind of business I wanted to create to complement my life and not complicate it, everything changed. And you can actually see it in my overall growth over the last 4 years. It just went like this. So it's so important for you to sit down, and this is where the twist comes in. Write down what you want. Write down the feeling associated with why you want it and how you want to feel on a daily basis about your business. Finally, just flip it around. and ask yourself, am I actually operating in a way that reflects that? I certainly wasn't. I was working way too hard. I was working on too many projects. I was saying yes to everything. I wasn't clear on the direction I was going. So there's no way I could achieve what I wanted to achieve or attract what I wanted to attract because I wasn't a mirror for it. So this is the best possible place to start, and that is your first exercise. Number 2, reprogram your subconscious. We all have a money story that is rooted in our past, but oftentimes, unfortunately, dictates our future. What I mean by that is how you were raised, the circumstances you were raised in, what your parents taught you, told you, or talked about when it came to money around you, infiltrated your subconscious to make you think that you have a limit to your potential when it comes to your wealth and your success. So you have to actively work on reprogramming that. And it's something that I've done for the last decade and something I do pretty much every single day to make sure that I'm staying in a place where I know I'm open to receive abundance, wealth, success beyond my imagination, beyond my current reality. So a very simple place to start here is understanding that the law of attraction doesn't work with negatives and it doesn't like incongruencies. What I mean by that is if you say, I don't want to be poor, all it hears is I want to be poor. So you have to start restructuring it, reprogramming it to I am wealthy, I am abundant, I am worthy of success. So really quickly, the announcement I wanted to make is to help you do this because it's something that I so wholeheartedly believe in and it's something that you've told me you enjoy so much on this channel. I've created an entire affirmations channel. And one of those affirmations is about reprogramming your brain for money, wealth, and abundance on a daily basis. So you can check out the link to subscribe to that channel and start listening to Reprogram Your Subconscious every single day in the description below. Yay! Number 3 is the evolving vision board. I've shared a lot of vision boards on my channel before and I used to make them all the time. I don't make them anymore because when I looked at it and I looked back at those vision boards, I realized that I felt so stuck to that particular vision that it oftentimes would make me feel like I failed and that I was never really going to be able to achieve that thing because I hadn't done it by the time I wanted to. What I know to be true with the law of attraction is if you put the intention into the universe, it could happen in an hour, it could happen in 6 years, it could happen tomorrow. You don't have control over when it happens, but you have control over the intention that you set. So an evolving vision board allows you to edit, remove, pivot, and change with time because as a human being, that's going to happen. So I no longer take out pieces of things from magazines and glue them onto a vision board. I now have a Pinterest board that I shuffle and change regularly. And I'll take space for myself once a month to just sit down, block out distractions, and move things around and add things to it and remove things from it that feel more aligned with where I'm at on my journey at that point. Why this has become so important is because I have been an entrepreneur now for a long time and things change very quickly. I talked about this just recently. I had a major shift within my team a few months ago. It was really hard to go through. And if I stuck rigidly to the vision of what I wanted to create this year, I would have really felt frustrated in that moment and like I was completely failing in my business because having that happen made me adapt and change, and it's actually created more growth than I ever could have anticipated. So allow yourself to evolve by creating a vision board that isn't concrete. Number 4, the 90-day letter, one of my favorite activities that I've been doing for years. Basically, it is what it sounds like. I write a 90-day letter. So every 90 days, I write a letter to my current self from my future self. And I've talked about this on my channel, but I do believe that the best way to achieve success is to really be aware of what the highest version of you looks like. And the most accomplished, successful, joyful, happy, abundant version of you, who they are, and what they've created for themselves. Because if you constantly operate from a place of your current reality, you're going to stay here. So the 90-day letter helps you envision and create that highest version of you. So simply put, just write a letter as if 3 months have passed and you've accomplished everything personally and professionally that you wanted to accomplish in the next 3 months. That means they're micro goals. You're not going for climbing Everest. You're going for, I got my business started and I'm so proud of myself. And I'm making X amount per month in my business as an entrepreneur. Baby goals, micro goals. This is insane how powerful this is and how accurate a lot of my letters have become, and they match up. My current reality matches my highest version and future reality oftentimes when I look back at those 90-day letters. So really easy thing to do to just sit down, have a cup of tea, write it out, envision, have fun with it, and make some magic happen. Number 5, you may hate this, but it has been vital. Data-driven law of attraction. I used to hate numbers. I used to actually kind of be scared of numbers. And I realized very quickly as an entrepreneur and business owner that if I don't look at the real numbers in my business and the real data in my business on a regular basis, I can't grow. And the worst part is that not only can't you grow, but you also get swayed by the emotions of the ups and the downs and the lack of feeling like you're in any sort of control of your own growth and success. When you don't know and you keep yourself in the dark of what's actually going on in your business and the metrics that matter to your business, you don't know how to shift, change, evolve, grow, pivot, and achieve success in the long term because you're being swayed constantly emotionally by what's happening. So why that's important is if you're constantly letting your emotions go like this as an entrepreneur, when you're at a dip, guess what you're gonna attract? More negativity, more lack, more scarcity, more panic, more freakouts because you've allowed yourself to be swayed by not being in control of your business. So for me, every single day, the first thing I do in the morning as an entrepreneur is I open up a spreadsheet and it has all of my metrics in front of me so that I am very clear on reality. So I can use reality to dictate my goals and my projections and my future. So leads, traffic, conversions, clients, new sales, profit, revenue, expenses, costs. I need to know all of these things in order to actually improve moving forward. So use numbers and use data to help you attract what you want. I know this is a bit of an overview of these activities, but if there's anything that you want me to go over in more detail, let me know in the comments below. Your story matters, what you bring to the table absolutely matters, but I also know it's extremely easy to get in your own way and block your own success. So keeping a healthy mindset is vital to making the unique impact on the world that you are meant to make. Are you with me? Be sure to subscribe to my brand new affirmations channel. Listen daily to reprogram your subconscious. I really did make it as a gift of love from me to you. Thank you so much for watching. If you believe in this content and you value this, be sure to subscribe and hit the like button so more people can be impacted in the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.